Welcome, this is Carrie Schell from On Point Quilter. In today's tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to create WordArt, and you only need two really simple to produce shapes using the applique section of Electric Quilt 8. On the home screen, select New Project, and let's call this one Love, and select OK. Then select Design a Block from Scratch. Select a new block, Pieced in Applique, Easy plus Applique. Set the block width at 14 and height of 5. We're going to set the snaps to a 1/2 inch, so they should be 28 horizontal and 10 vertical. Snapping option should be just snap to grid. On the Easy Draw tab, draw a 1/2 inch vertical line both on the left and the right side, and then between those vertical lines on the top and the bottom. Go to the Applique tab and select the Shapes tool, and then select the heart. And with the Control key, draw a heart. The Control or Command key will keep it perfectly straight. Then zoom in on your heart and select one of the edges with the Edit tool. Select and drag one of the handles to round the heart. Then select the segment on the right and move the node to round that one as well. Then select it with the Pick tool, and let's change the width and the height to 1 inch. Now select Shapes and select PosieMaker. Under PosieMaker, select the type Petal. Then increase the number of repeats to 7. And let's reduce the size of the center. I'm going to make mine around 20. And I'm going to increase the petal and burst adjustment. Let's try 55%. And then let's increase the petal width to 60%. Then select OK. Select it with the Pick tool, and let's change the size of this to 1.1 by 1.1. Let's place the heart and posie to create the letter L. Select Clone to make additional copies and place on the block. Zoom in to fine-tune the adjustments of any of the shapes. Then select one of the hearts and select Clone, and then select Wreathmaker. Change the number of clusters to 5 and the cluster spacing to 100%. Resize cluster should also be set at 100%. And then I'm going to select OK. I can see that my wreath is too big and isn't nicely fitting in the space. So I'm going to select Undo to go back to the single heart. And then I'm going to select Wreathmaker again, and I'm going to bring the cluster spacing down just a little bit. So I'm going to try 90% and select OK. Now that is much better fitting, and I can reposition it for the start of my O. And if I check my heart size, there's still 1 inch, which is perfect. So now I'm going to take the posie and clone, and I'm going to select Wreathmaker, and I'm going to do 5 of those as well. And I'm going to also resize my cluster a bit. So I'm going to bring that down to 93% and select OK. Now for this one, while I still have them all selected, I'm going to select the center with my Control or Command key. And that's going to allow me to rotate, and I can see that things aren't quite fitting. So while I still have everything selected for the posies, I'm going to select Resize, and I'm going to do 90% horizontal and vertical, and select OK. Once I know they will fit, I can go ahead and fine-tune adjustments, and I can even adjust each of the posies individually. If you'd like to move all of the pieces in the O with the pick tool, drag a box over everything and then just move that. Then clone one of the hearts and one of the posies, and we will start working on the V. After a little bit of playing, I decided to move my pieces for the left side of the V much closer together. Then select the 3 top pieces and select Clone, flip left to right, and move that to the right. Then select one of the hearts and one of the larger posies and clone those for the E. For the center of the E, I decided to clone one of the smaller posies and put that a little bit closer to the heart. Once you think you've got everything placed correctly, I like to do a fit to work table and take one last look at the spacing between the letters. And as necessary, I can move either individual patches or groups of patches. Then I'm going to go back to the Easy Draw tab, and with the pick tool I'm going to do a Control or Command plus the A key to select all of these drawn lines and select Delete. I had put the 1/2 inch spacer just to have some space between my letters, and so it has now served its purpose and I can get rid of those lines. Then select the Color tab, and I am going to bring in some additional reds and pinks and then color this block. Once I have the block colored, I will select Add to Project Sketchbook. Thanks so much for watching. For additional tips and techniques, please subscribe to my weekly newsletter at www.onpointquilter.com.